might not sound beautiful, but full of power. So James says to us this morning, he said, now we need to, brothers, we need to count it all joy.
Yes.
When you fall into diverse temptation.
Yes.
Knowing this one thing, that the trying of your faith will work his patience. We all have made some mistakes in life. We all have failed by the wayside, but yet God is able to lift up a bowed down head.
Yes.
God is able to do all things but fail.
Yes.
We need some God wisdom.
Yes.
Look at your neighbor.
Neighbor,
You need some God wisdom.
we need some God wisdom.
You see, God wisdom can make one wise man
Yes.
more powerful than rulers in a city.
Yes.
In Ecclesiastes 7:19. It also preserves the life of his possessors. Ecclesiastes 7:12. So how can we have wisdom from God according to the Bible? James give it to you in verse 5. He said, if anyone lacks wisdom, look, all you got to do is let him ask of God.
Yes.
Ask. Matthew 7:7. And it shall be given, seek, and ye shall find, knock, and the door shall be open. The word ask start with a A, the word seek start with a S, the word knock start with a K, put A-S-K together, ask, seek, and knock, take the first letter of each word, you got ask, you got to ask. All Matthew did was he just simplified it, Reverend. He found three words that we can hang our hats on. Ask, seek, and knock. Oh, that's powerful right there. Amen. So the first thing we ask wisdom of God. The first thing you can do to gain wisdom from God is to ask from Him. Admit that you lack wisdom. The problem with most of us, including me at times, we wanna make people think that we got it all together.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
We ain't liking nothing. And then left God out of the equation altogether. Don't you know when Daniel and the Hebrew boys' life was at stake? And Nebuchadnezzar's high-hearted men came to them and said that if we cannot interpret the king's dream, all of us gonna die. These were men of Nebuchadnezzar that held high leadership position. But no man know the demands of another except God. So preacher, what did Daniel do? Daniel consulted the Lord about the situation. He asked God. And God gave Daniel the answer for the king. King Nebuchadnezzar live forever. The only reason he can talk about the dream and interpret the dream was because he had the knowledge. Where did he obtain this knowledge? As a child in his father's and mother's house. They taught him obedience. They taught him when trouble came your way. Son, sure, don't seek street wisdom.
Yes.
That street is broad. And that street carries you down Fool's Road. That's Fool's Gold. And on that street is crowded. But guess what? on a street called Straight. Where you find a traveler every now and then. That's the street you need to be on. You need to be on that street so when you cry out for help, Lord help me. Now declare, he'll do it. And he'll do it right now. Seek the Lord while he can be.
Yes, Lord.
Yes.
Because there might come a time in your life that you'll come seeking him and he will not answer you because you have been unfaithful in your dealings when it comes to him.
Yes.
Give God first place in your life. God don't want to be second. God desires us to give him first place.
Yes.
So if you ask him for wisdom, that's the first thing. Ask him to guide you.
Yes.
Keep on all our soul. It's him. Ask God for wisdom, first of all. Second of all, when you ask him, James said you got to ask faithfully. Verse number 6, but let him ask in faith. Nothing what? Wavering. For he that waves is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind, and he is tossed. Let that patience. Verse 4 says that what? Patience. Verse 5 said, let him ask of God. Verse 6 says what? Let him ask in faith. Well, he's using a lot of that saying. He said, ask man first, didn't he? Seek ye first him. And all of his righteousness. And all these things shall be added. 3 straight legs.
Yes.
But now somebody ought to recognize that you got to let God, who is perfect,
Let God.
and God is the God of patience. How you know that, Reverend? I'm still here. What about you?
Yes.
How many know that God is still working on them?
Yes.
Amen.
Yes, Lord.
When I woke up this morning, I had my mind stayed on him.
Yes. Yes, Lord. Keep your mind on God.
Be faithful
No
with
other way.
when asking and praying.
Yes.
For wisdom is from God. Cast all your doubts away and believe in him.
Yeah.
You gotta believe
Gotta believe.
in him. In other words, don't ask wisdom while you disobey his command.
Yes,
Yes.
Lord.
Turn over there to Matthew. You asked him for wisdom, then you're going to disobey what you don't ask for. Matthew chapter 19. There's a young man over there in Matthew chapter 19, starting at verse number 16. He says these words to us. He says, and behold, one came and said unto him, a good master. You all gonna figure out who it is. What good things shall I do that I may have eternal life? He's asking the good master. He's asking the Son of God, what things should he ask for to what to have eternal life? And that's a good question, isn't it? So he's seeking wisdom. And notice what Jesus says to him. Why callest thou? Before he asked him and give him an answer to his question, he asked him a question, though. He said, why callest thou me good? In other words, how do you know what kind of person I am? He says, there is none good but one. And that is God. And so if the man don't know who he's talking to, he ought to know now. Jesus will introduce him to God. I am God. Look now, but if thou wilt enter into life, he says, the only one thing you need to do is keep the what?
Command.
Just keep the commandments. And the young man, you know, he brash and everything. He said unto him in verse 18, which said unto him, which Jesus said, thou shalt do no murder. And that's one of the biggest things that in our society today, that we can't come together as a black body race of people.
Yes,
Is
Lord.
that we don't have to kill each other.
Yes. Yes. Pray
And
for
the
that.
reason why there's so much killing in the world is because of the light of wisdom that comes from above. If that brother or sister have offended you to the point that it angers you to go and pull out a semi-automatic and kill your neighbor, then you not of God.
No, no.
Your teaching is zero.
Yeah.
And what do we got to do with this society? Black lives do not. But it starts with us.
Yes.
I keep telling people,
Yes.
it starts with us.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Yes, Lord. It's
The same
not
life
us.
too. Matter. Because he could have been that doctor or lawyer that operate on you in surgery, on the other hand, defend you in the courthouse.
Yes. Yes.
But my brother insisted. He said, do not murder, do not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness, honor thy father and thy mother, and thou shalt love thy neighbor.
And that's us.
It's all packed in there.
Yes.
This is what the young man have to say. He says to him, all these things
Mm.
have I kept from my youth.
Yes.
What like I yet. And this is the point out there. If thou will be perfect, go and sell that thou hast, and give to the poor, and thou shalt have treasures where?
In heaven.
And come and follow.
Me.
But, so that but factor in.
But,
When the young man heard that saying, he went away sorrowful, for he had great what? Possession. Now, notice what he says, ain't nobody good but who?
God.
God.
But one. And that's God. And then he turns around and tells him, but if y'all want to be perfect, and if you want to be perfect, that means that you are keeping his commandments. And his commandments are not grievous. Because everybody knows that you shouldn't kill your neighbor.
Yes.
Everybody knows you should not commit adultery.
Yes.
Everybody knows that you should not steal. And everybody knows you're supposed to love you one another.
Yes.
But if we're going to be perfect, the Bible said Job was perfect and what? Upright.
Mm-hmm.
And he excused evil. Job didn't care how folks treated him. Job did what?
Right.
He did right. If you're going to be perfect, you got to learn how to love ye one another.
Yes.
Do good, and good will follow you.
Yes.
Preacher, I got a hard time trying to love these folks. Well, how you think Jesus felt?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes.
He said, Lord, if thou wilt move this bitter cup
Not me.
from me.
Yeah. Move the cup.
But
But, it's your will.
if it's your will, let thy will
Let your will be done.
be done. He was in the flesh when he said these
Yeah.
words in the Garden of Gethsemane. And then when he went to the cross and died for all men's sin, the curtain, the veil in the temple was what?
Rip.
That no longer do we need a high priest to go in and intercede for us. Now you can intercede for your ask. That's why James get right. Ask. You're the one that like wisdom. You gotta ask. What are you asking for?
Yes.
You don't need me to ask God for you when you got a mouth yourself.
Yes.
For this coming stuff you want. Lord, I need a house to live in. He said, ask. He said, if I can take care of the sparrow.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Listen, if I can plant the grass.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and let the
And
grass
do all
be
those
green.
things.
And then that same God said, when it's time for that grass to die, I burn it up with my
Go,
son.
God, go.
S-U-E. He said, look how I copied the earth.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Put flowers all around with it.
Yeah,
I make all things beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah, cause I love to do good. Adam, what have it done for you lately? Well, it'll take me all day to tell you.
Yes.
So the question I ask you, what have he done for you lately? He did when I'm weak, he gives me strength. I get frustrated a lot of times, and my wife has to help me with my frustration.
Yes.
Young man, young drummer, notice what the rich young man asked for. He asked the question, what must I do? When the answer was given, he went away sorry. He was not ready to release his earthly goods.
Yes. Amen.
Still wanted it.
And watch what Jesus told. He said, you would have treasures in heaven.
You will have treasures in heaven.
He denied the treasures of heaven for the earthly treasures.
Yes. Yes.
So how many of us deny God what belongs to God? I mean, he forgot what the Psalm 24 says. The earth is the Lord and the
Fullness thereof.
and everything that dwells therein. Let the crooked stop howling. Let the dogs stop howling. Let the crooked sing. Let the frogs cry. Everything belongs. It goes like. Maybe the question should be, who's seeking wisdom? And where? And who are you seeking it from? I oftentimes, my wife had to remind me that everybody's not on the same level that I'm on. For it's growing. Everybody had been married 40 years. I know I'm the only one got my hands up. Yeah, you put more. He said you put more. Listen, for 40 years of marriage to one person, if I don't have no wisdom about that, well, I'm messed up at it.
Yeah.
40 years.
40 years.
Because even this past week, when she said everybody was not, and I'm speaking about my children. Because the last two, I always said, now, if it's me, then you need to go ask your other two siblings, which is your older brother and your older sister. And they're not coming to me, asking me for another car, get them tore up, right? You just flip yours. Now you want to cry out to me for another. If you do what you're supposed to do, you can't hit every pothole in Jacksonville. Call me after you done bought you another and said, now it's making a noise. And I'm trying to ask you my questions over the phone. It wasn't making a noise when we left the mechanic shop. He couldn't even tell me he ran over something. And it made a noise. I had to call the mechanic back. And the mechanic said it wasn't making a noise for it left. They come back the next morning. He called me and he said, Dad, all it was Was something under the car that had bit? Well, how did that? My question, so I said, okay, man. And then that's all it was. He didn't go through the preliminary of telling me, when you called me last night, disturbed me. I asked all these questions. Well, it do fine bag it up is when it go forward that got the problem. I said, oh Lord, I know this car ain't got no transmission problem. I already prayed what I didn't want. I can handle spark plugs and wire. I can handle put some antifreeze up. I can handle some hood back. But I can't handle the motor. I need a new vehicle. So the problem is that if he had only thought about when the noise started is when he ran over something in the street. He bit something under there, and all the man did was took a pair of pliers and unclean. He was the happiest fellow when he called me, but he wasn't no happier than me. And know what I told him when he got? I said, thank you. Do we ever tell God thank you?
Yes.
Because the rich young ruler did.
Yes.
But Solomon, on the other hand, asked a different. He said, Lord, you have placed me over this kingdom. Your people. Ain't anybody in the house.
Yeah. Your people.
Galilee.
Good job.
When I got here, you said you had to learn to trust me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, the only way you can trust me is be around me in the various ministries that we have.
Yes.
Because you get to learn of me, the way I operate, and how God is using me to get you to see where God is trying to move us to.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
If God says to us, we have a single ministry here at the church, and what's that, October, November, we got 2 more months.
Mm.
And 3 of our senior members going to be blessed. 2 of our senior women ministry. Black women, they carry a lot of load. Why single women? They carry a great load.
Mm.
Preacher, what about married ministry? They carry a great load. Yeah. Preacher, what about the brother? They carry a great load. All of us carries a great what?
Low.
But the word says, ask,
Mm.
and it shall be. Knock, seek and ye shall find. Knock, and the door will
Be open.
He that asks, you go down the line and Matthew, receive it. He that seeketh find, and he that knocketh, guess what?
Yes.
That's verse 8. The door is what?
Open.
And they what? Receive. The problem with us, we don't know how to. You don't ask it. It's a faith walk, people. And the only way that we're going to ever grow up to age.
Yes, Lord.
And stop blaming others for your mistakes.
Yes.
They didn't make them. They're not in your body.
Yes.
You got to. When
Admit what you do.
you didn't go through what I. You didn't get threatened to be divorced from me. Well, that's what my wife. She threatened to divorce me 20-some years ago. And the reason she was going to divorce me was because I would never do nothing around the house that she asked me to do.
Oh, yeah.
Dad and Mama could call, and there I went. Her mama could call me, and there I go, but she couldn't see it.
No.
See that? I told you. And so I did everything, and I gave myself a deadline to, when she threatened to divorce me, I said, well, since she laid down the law of what I wouldn't do, those are the things things I did. And on my last day at the house, I was finishing up my duties. And she came outside and she said, you need to come in the house. Now, I said, I ain't coming until I get through. Because in my mind, I got to complete the task. Go in and take my last bath in that house. Pack my clothes.
And go.
Then she hollered at me and said, will you just come sit? When I got through, I said, now I'm through. I said, now I'm going to take my bath and then whatever you got to do. No, just sit down. Can you just please do one simple thing? When she hollered, I listened. I sat down. Why did I have to bring you to the force you? For you to do everything I've been asking you for years to do. I couldn't answer that. But the question that got me, the thing that got me, you for divorce me, and I'm taking care of my financial part of the house. But it's not all about financial
Yes.
part of the house. It's other things in the house that need to be done. When I got off of work, you know, her shoulders, I'm going. Now watch this bed. That was 20-some years ago. When somebody look at their neighbor and say, you gonna read this?
You gonna read what you saw? You gonna read?
She's
It's
under the
coming.
doctor's care for her
It's
shoulder.
coming.
Operation is more serious than they thought. So you know, past the work day. Then I come home, and then I Thursday night, I'm getting ready for the weekend, because it's the 3 days, I'm happy for Labor Day, and all that holiday. And so I help wash. She's in that rest, eating and going in that clean the kitchen up, and then I get the broom, I get the mop. I do stuff back. I mop first and then sweep out. And that's what I do. I'm glad there's another man here. Because when you're mopping, Reverend. Yeah, there you go. You see more than when you speak. And so I mop everything up there. When the air conditioner dry up everything, then I shake that mop out and put it back in the water, go through all the process, get everything looking good. And she got up, she said, what are you doing? I said, I'm working. I said, I'm getting it done because the weekend is coming up. There ain't nobody there but me. And she goes back